How you doing, folks? Paul from Primal, and we're on day 2 of our discussion on the 8-week Dadbod, the DadGOD shred. So yesterday we just gave you the overview. Today we're going into the foundation phase, and we're just going to speak about it because the idea behind the foundation phase was so many guys I say I'm meeting day in, day out actually don't understand how to train properly, and their inability to train, and coupled with like middle-aged man's ego, is preventing them from actually achieving the best results possible. I've seen it so many times. There's so many guys out there that have the potential to do really well, but their inability to actually accept they don't know what they're doing and they do need help is holding them back. And what's happening is they're going through the same cycles. I can do this myself. They join global gyms, and before you know it, they've fallen off the wagon again. They're doing the same thing over and over again. The workouts are done from 1990, and it's not working for them. It works for a short space of time, but then they've gone too heavy, too fast, too hard, whatever. They don't understand proper technique. They injure themselves, or they just lose motivation. So, talking to the guys who were like that, and we've got, I'd say 90% of our members, the guys in my age, were that type of guy. They thought they knew it all. They refused to ask for help. Eventually something happened. They came to us, within 2 weeks, in fact some sessions within 2 days, they've realised that they've come and said to us, Jesus, I was doing this all wrong. You don't realise you're doing something wrong until someone shows you you're doing it, you're doing it wrong. So it made me think, well, Jesus, if so many guys like that in here are thinking like that, how many other guys can we help? And to be honest, I think there's 90% of the guys out there we can help quite easily. So I came up with the foundation phase, which is basically a very easy introductory training sessions. So it's just focusing on the movement, focusing on getting correct technique, and focusing on figuring out where your baseline level is and building from there. So who's it for? It's for normal people who want to learn how to exercise correctly. It's for anyone who's had enough of getting so far in a program only to get a recurrent injury over and over or lose motivation. If you are sick of losing motivation and enjoy training in a group, perfect for you. And if you want to move, feed and look better. So it's that simple. I don't care if I know it's in the Dadbod shred, but if you're a woman, a man, I don't care if you're 18 or you're 80, 100% we can help you, and this program will help you, and the foundation phase is designed specifically for you. It's going to build your confidence. What will you learn? Well, like everything we do in Primal, it is about the push, pull, squat, hinge, carry, and then we throw in rotation and lunge. So basically the 7 movement patterns, the Primal movement patterns that every human being needs to be able to do. We just focus on that. The reason behind that is, instead of just saying to you you're doing a deadlift, and you can't do a deadlift and you feel useless, you're going to do a hinge, and that hinge opens up the hip thrusts, deadlifts, sumo deadlifts, swings, snatch, clean, single arm swings, high pulls, a multitude of different exercises that allows you to work to your own level, but still be part of the group and still be training the same movement pattern, but just in a different way that suits your body type for that exact moment. In between those times, we're going to be focusing on mobility and stability issues that's preventing you from doing like say, for example, if everyone's doing the deadlift, if the deadlift is the hinge pattern, but you're not ready for it, we're going to give you, let's go with basic one, a hip thrust, which is going to be less, there's going to be less risk on the back. You're still going to get massive contraction in the glutes, hamstrings and quads. In fact, it's one of the best hinge patterns you can do. And we'll be focusing on improving your mobility and your stability in between those sets, so eventually you can come in and do a deadlift pain-free and injury-free. So we're going to focus on the principles of eating. Okay, we don't believe in diets in Primal because diets don't work. If diets work, there wouldn't be fat people. Okay, people are overweight because they put their, like we say this all the time, they put their hope in the magic banana. I'm doing paleo, I've got this diet, my PTs give me this diet or whatever. The reality is these diets aren't working. You will lose weight if you're in a calorie deficit. And a lot of these diets put you in an extreme calorie deficit. The problem being is, and I talk a lot one first thing we do in Primal is, if you're overweight, we don't ask you to go on a diet. For the first week, all we ask you to do is download MyFitnessPal and track your calories. The simple reason being, if you're eating 4,500 calories a day and your baseline level is 2,500, If I drop you to 2,200 from 4,500, you're going to lose a shit ton of weight, but eventually it's going to stop and you're going to rebound, because your body is like going to shit itself. It's not going to be able to deal with that amount of calorie loss in such a short period of time. So we follow principles. For someone who's really overweight, all we ask them to do is maybe track them and then drop them 500 calories or such and such over a prolonged period of weeks, until eventually we get them to their baseline level, okay? So we've got principles of eating as opposed to diets, and then we've got other principles that we follow, and these can be adapted to anyone's situation. Because, like, personally, I like fasting. I'm a big believer in fasting. The reason I'm a big believer in fasting is because when I fast, it works for me, but Gareth hates it. Gareth's in better shape than me. Gareth eats a big breakfast, I don't. Is my fasting wrong? No, it's not. It's just that it suits my lifestyle better. Some people prefer low carb, some people prefer carb cycling, some people prefer paleo. So your belief pattern is going to determine how you eat, and your lifestyle is going to determine how you eat. And to be honest, there is no best diet. The best diet is the one that you can stick to and continuously follow without any undue fatigue or like hassle. That's the one that's going to work for you. So we believe in principles, and these principles can be adapted to all manners of eating styles. Okay, so that's it. And then intelligent training methods. So you're going to learn how to train properly. This is one of our big goals in Primal. It's about education. It's not just about getting you the results, which is, we do want to get you results, and we do want to change your life, but we also want to educate you and show you that if you go on holiday, or if you leave us for whatever reason and you want to go train on your own, that you have the knowledge bases behind you, that you know you're doing things right, so you're not going to look like an idiot when you walk into the gym and try to do things. And you see it in global gyms all over the place, guys and girls just lifting wrong, trainers not having a clue. That's another big problem, which I'll do another talk about. Trainers, some of them don't understand how to train their clients properly, and they're teaching their clients the wrong methods, and then that builds in problems down the line. So why should you join? If you're yo-yoing with your training and eating, so a lot of people do these yo-yo diets, and I call yo-yo trainings, where you're up and you're down, you're up and you're down, you're up and you're down, and it's a continuous life cycle. And some people have been on that yo-yo diet and yo-yo training for years, and they refuse to step off it because simply they feel comfortable. They lose a bit of weight. Let's take circuits. I'm not a big believer in the circuit type training for principles I've already went through, but if you're going to circuit class all the time and you're losing a lot of weight, all of a sudden you're hitting hard, everyone's giving you compliments. 8 weeks down the line, you're starting to lose your motivation. This isn't for everyone. Circuits do work for people, and that's it. If it's working for you, brilliant. But what I'm trying to get to the people is, if you're constantly going to a circuit class and you're stopping and then you're restarting and you're stopping and you're restarting, you've got to ask yourself, is that method of training worth it for you? Is it working? My advice is no, it's not. That's my opinion. It's not working for you. Yes, you're losing weight, and yes, while you're doing it, you are going to be in better shape and you're going to get fitter and you're going to lose the weight. But why are you constantly falling back? My idea, my method would probably be that it's going too hard, too soon, too fast, and your nervous system's just going, no, I can't handle this. And it's basically thinking, we're going to die. So if you don't stop, it finds a way of stopping you. You lose motivation. You put weight back on because you're eating more and you're comfort eating again. You're going back into your old ritual and your old habits that your body feels comfortable in. You look at yourself after another 6 weeks and you think to yourself, shit, I've lost weight. What will I do? Well, I lost weight when I went to X gym or this X class. So therefore, I'll go back and do that again because it was your fault. The reality is, it wasn't your fault. It was just you went too hard, too fast, too soon, and that's the result. So you need to maybe think about a different training approaching training in a different way, a different method. So if you're continuing losing focus and motivation, again, that goes back to what I was explaining. You're sick of being out of shape. I was speaking to a guy yesterday. He came in about, I don't know, electricity or water or something like that. And he was in his 50s, and I said, and we just started talking about fitness, and I said, are you happy with your body shape? And he goes, no, I don't like it. It's like, we might do something about it. And he goes, I don't want to. I was like, that's a conundrum. That's like a complete, you're not happy with your shape, you don't want to do something about your shape. And I was like, we eventually got that he did want to do something about his shape. He was just embarrassed. Like so many people, he was embarrassed, he was nervous. He didn't want to look like a fool. So if you're sick of being out of shape and you're worried about stepping in the gym, the foundation level is going to be perfect for you. It's designed with you in mind. You have the drive and focus to succeed, but you lack the knowledge. There are so many people out there that are trying, they're so dedicated and they're so focused, and when they step to the gym, they've got results because of this. When you start something off, no matter what it is you're doing, you're increasing your calorie output through training, you're going to get some sort of results, some sort of fat loss, but then you lose your body starts adapting to that, and you don't know how to push on with that. There's small micro movements you can do, micro changes in programming that we know how to do that keeps your body constantly changing, and they're just small movements. It could be a rep scheme, it could be a total volume, it could be a weight, it could be a change in exercise, it could be a change in the order of exercises. There's tons of things that we know how to do that can push you on and get you those goals a lot faster. So where is it? Primal. What's the address? Primal Strength and Movement, 5 to 7 Chapel Hill, Lisburn, BT 28 1EP. We're straight above the Faith Mission bookstore. Hopefully our sale will be out in the next couple of weeks. And when's the start? The foundation level starts on February the 12th. Now, the 8-week Dadbod shred is going to cost $257 for the 8 weeks. If you're one of the 10 people that get signed up to the foundation level, you're going to get 11 weeks. You're going to get the foundation level completely free. So whether you sign up for the 8-week shred or you get in for the foundation level, it's still $257. So for the first 10 people to get in, you want to get yourself in now, you will get 3 weeks training absolutely free. So tomorrow we're going to go through the strength part of the phase, what we're doing and what the hope and the ideas behind the strength phase is. And the day after, we're going to go through the hypertrophy phase, and we're going to tell you exactly how we do things. We're not going to give away our actual program, but why we do it. Okay, so cheers for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow.